Welcome to WithinLiving.com, where conversations, blog posts, and coaching is focused on consciousness. The consciousness of going back within oneself and connecting to your authentic divine self, your true nature, your identity, your true identity. So welcome here. I'm Lois, and I'm glad to have you here. And I hope that the content you find here at Within Living on my YouTube channel will really be edifying to you to assist you in finding your own path to the discovery of your true authentic nature and divine self, that place within you where all things truly are possible, because all things are possible for all of us if we believe. But how do we believe? We believe by going back, identifying with and connecting with the real self of us. And when we know who we are, then yes, there are no limits and belief becomes easy. Okay, so thank you again for being here and meeting up today. Today, I want to have a conversation about self. And I want to come at it from the perspective of asking you a question. And then we're going to discuss, and I'm emphasizing discussing, because I want my YouTube content to be coming more from a place of a discussion, opposed to just me talking, telling you what you should or shouldn't do. No, I'm not for that, because I believe each and every one of us is on our own path. We have our own path. Sure, there are better ways or higher dimensions, if you will, higher vibrations of energy, higher states of self that we all ultimately, I hope, would want to attain. But we all get there in our own way and in our own time. My purpose with this blog is not to tell you what is right or wrong, because when you understand the law, you know there is no right or wrong. Because the source of the law, who is the law, can't judge. So we're all choosing the path that we're choosing for our own selves, right? Whether we're doing that consciously or subconsciously, we're still making our own choices. So there's no wrong or right. It's all about what we perceive based on what we've experienced, based on what we've come to believe. So my place as a teacher, a coach, is not to say, this is the way, it's the only way. It's not. I'm simply sharing with you what I have learned, what I have proven to be true for myself over some 40, 50 years or so. And what has really brought transformation, radical transformation to me in my life, to bring me to a consciousness of self, an identification of myself, from a place where in this new knowingness, acknowledgement of self, my life truly, truly has been short of miraculous. Really, it's been magnificent. It's almost unreal. But it is, it's truth. So I bring this message to you from that place. So now let's get into the discussion for today. So my question to you today is, how do you identify self? So if you're going along and you're meeting someone for the very, very first time and they ask the question, who are you? What would your answer be? Think on that for a moment, right? Really give that some thought. Who are you? How do you identify self? If asked the question, who are you? What is your identity? And then at the end of our discussion today, I would really love it if you go ahead and in the description box below, not the description box, but the comment box below, if you go ahead and share your comments. It's important to me in having this dialogue that I hear what some of your perspectives are, and we can have an interchange of perspectives. Okay. I think that in doing this exercise, at the end of it, you may be surprised in how the identification of self comes along, what you thought, maybe to what you begin to think, as it was for me. Okay, so most of us, when asked the question, who are you? We would answer, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm an author, I'm a coach, I'm a musician, I'm a teacher, I'm a baker, I'm a candlestick maker, I'm a farmer, I'm a girl, I'm a boy, I'm rich, I'm poor, who am I? I'm just someone coping with the day today, having a rough day today. This is who we have identified ourselves as. It's not who we are. What's happened there is we have forgotten really who we were made to be. We are not our bodies. We're not our minds. We're not our thoughts. We're not our emotions. We're not our experiences. No, we're not. We're so much more than that. When we go back to consciousness and go back within to recognize and identify the true self, the true nature of who we were made to be by the creator, the creative source. I call it God. Doesn't matter what you call it. Some call it the universe, some call it Jesus, some call it the Spirit, some call it Lord, Allah, Yahweh. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we call it, because that cannot change the nature and character of who it is. It is unchangeable. So when we go back to the source of who we are, and I'm talking about going back to what I like to call your isness. That is your existence, the breath of your life, your being, That's the real you, that's the soul, that's the spirit, that's the real authentic self of you. So the identification as I am Lois, which I deliberately said in this video, that is not my true identity. That I am Lois is the identification of the human body and personality that I, the spirit, who is formless, who is nameless, have taken on. So let's take that a little bit further. In identifying, and I'm going to get a little personal and transparent here. So I've gone through a couple of things in my early years that were very traumatic experiences for me. So as those experiences went on, I identified, yes, with having been traumatized. And the more I accepted or identified with having been traumatized, what happened is I had a shift within me. And that shift happens at the subconscious level, in the soul, or what we call the spirit. But it's reflected in the persona. It's reflected in the egoic part of us. And then that begins to become outplayed in our lives as what we call real in life. So in identifying as having been traumatized, what ends up happening is we build a more reaffirming belief of wanting to be traumatized, because that's how the law works. As you believe, so you become. So we attract more situations to be traumatic. May not be the same type of trauma, may come in different ways, but we begin to attract that. But my point is, in answering the question, who are you? Are you identified with what you do, what you're called, what you believe, the perspective of your ego, the experiences you might have had, your circumstances, or even your emotional experiences? Because if you're identifying as that, then what you've actually done is you've shifted your energy from being at a positive rate to a negative rate. You have just put the limit on it. You're identifying in the circumstance or the situation of who, what, when, where, opposed to identifying with the isness of who you are. Really think about this for a minute. And I want to know in the comment section, let me know if this makes any sense to you at all. Because for me, it was very freeing. Once I realized that I spent, a good part of my life, let's say the first 20 or 30 years of my life, identifying with a traumatic experience and sort of not even being aware that there were emotions or parts of me in my soul, the real essence of me, that were shut down because of that identity. Once I recognized that, and I was able to go and take my power back and understand that I experienced that. Yes, that was real. That was an experience for me, but it is not who I am. Because you see, I am so much more than all of that. And when you can go back to recognize it and identifying with your true, authentic state of self, I'm talking about the divine nature of who you are. I'm talking about the God-likeness that you are at existence. Then you begin to understand that when we go through circumstances, whatever those may be, then those circumstances, if in our humanity we label them bad, let's say I was a Mrs. somebody, and then circumstances went that way and I'm no longer a Mrs. somebody, or I had a home and circumstances went that way and I no longer have that home, then I realized that those were just experiences that I had. They're not who I am. Because in my spirit, I am divine. I am eternal. I am whole. I am perfect. I am complete. I am infinitely loved and adored. My source has never, ever, ever found fault with me. Ever. I'm good. I came to life complete. I came to life self-sufficient. I came to life self-sustaining. I came to life empowered to be self-reliant. I came to life super abundantly, exceedingly supplied, because at the essence of me, at the source of me, at the isness of me, at the essence that is the life of me, I am one with the creator, whoever, whatever we want to call the creator. I'm one. I'm inseparably connected. That connection can never be broken. If that connection is broken, then I no longer exist. Yes? So I'm already here. I have life. I am life. I not just have life. I am life. So if you can just stop and go back and really think about that, and think about, how have you been identifying yourself? Have you been identifying yourself based on what you do, where you live, how much you have in the bank, what experiences you've had in life, what you believe you have accomplished, what you hope you will accomplish, or what society has labeled you and put you in a box with? Then may I encourage you to go back and reassess that. may I encourage you to go back, go deep within yourself, and really try and connect with the authenticity of who you are. Really ask the questions. Ask of your higher self. Your higher self is God. It is the God essence of you. It is what lives you. It is not off in another dimension somewhere. No, the dimension it is in you. You are it, and it is you. You're inseparably connected with the very source of your existence. This is who you are in the soul. This is who you are. And when you start going back and really identifying your true self and connecting back with your true self and allowing the love, the wholeness, the perfection of your true, authentic, divine self to permeate, to come up and just saturate you with its inexhaustible, unconditional love, its inexhaustible supply, its inexhaustible acceptance and approval, its inexhaustible power and intelligence and resources, then you will start to see you in a totally different light. I mean, totally different light. You'll experience love like you have never, ever. The human mind can't grasp it. I can't explain it to you. You have to experience it. And when you experience it, you're not going to be able to articulate it either. But when you experience that, then an awakening occurs in you and you begin to truly understand and grasp how magnificent you were made to be, how phenomenal you are, how limitless you are, because you exceed all limits when you are from your source. Yes? So, I hope that you really give some thought to the question of who are you? And I hope that in giving thought to that, not only to answering the question before our discussion, but going back and reviewing the question after our discussion. And then I'd really, really love it if you'd share it in the comment box below. And I'd love it because I believe it will really help other people. And my intention, really, with these videos, with the Within Living conversation, and with the coaching, is really to help other people understand that you are truly limitless beings. And once you begin to connect back to the consciousness and the consciousness of who you are, you'll find that you've never been a victim. You cannot be victimized. No one can hurt you. No circumstances can work against you. There's nothing in life that can stop you. You're the only one that can stop yourself. And I think that from there, when we begin to understand who we are, and we resonate with that, and we live with that, and we begin to love ourselves from there, then that love permeates the fibers of our being, reaches way out beyond us. It saturates our individual universes. And maybe we could just touch and change the lives of each other as we change our own lives, okay? So thank you so much for being here. I hope, and my intention was that this content will really provoke you to really start looking deeper within yourself and asking the question, who am I? What have I been identifying with? Have I been limiting myself in terms of my self-identity? Because at the end of the day, everything that we are, everything that we experience now, back then, or going forward, it all comes out of our identification with self. We can only manifest who we are convinced And that's the word. Not who we think we are, but who we are convinced that we really are in the self. And so when we've lost our identity with our true divine nature, where we're limitless, where all things are possible to us, then life can become a struggle, because we then become convinced that we're limited, when in truth we're not. So this is going to be it for me today. Thank you again for being here. I hope this content, has been edifying to you. I look forward to meeting up with you again in the next conversation. And I think in my next video, I want to go and do one to follow up right behind this that talks about consciousness. What really is consciousness, and how do we tap into consciousness? So be on the lookout for that. I'll try to upload it in another couple days or so, maybe a week. All right, but thanks again for being here. I appreciate you much. Thanks for all the love, sending love back. And always remember, we're really only one love. We are one love, one God, one source, one supply. We're all one. We're mirrors. We're just all one. So one love. Peace.